Without a shadow of a doubt, there is a whole disenfranchised audience out there that we all hope are going to come back for the Monday Night Wars. Maybe it will revive that old feeling from 10 plus years ago where we had two really great products on the air. Well, some people would say WCW wasn't a great product, but however, there was competition, and everybody in the business acknowledges that it's important to have competition, and going forward it's going to be great to see what happens on Monday night. We'll speak more about TNA later, continuing with the Raw review for this week here on the Wrestledope Wrestling Radio podcast, and we're going to speak about a controversial subject. Jack Swagger is in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, I think Swagger might be interesting to see in the Money in the Bank match. He can be a bit of a high flyer when he wants to be. He's a big guy, but I think putting Swagger in there is a good idea. I honestly do.
It's a good idea, and certainly he's a good worker. A lot of people down on the Swagger.
Yeah, I think definitely I would, more so than Santino. I don't think Santino would carry well in the Money in the Bank. And a good decision, I think, by WWE to put him in there. Again, MVP, another qualifier for the Money in the Bank match. And a good call, a good spot for MVP to be in. It'll be interesting to see who takes the last spot. We were hoping for Miz, but looks like that's going to be tied up with the tag match of the year, which we'll go into a bit more later on. But yeah, I think Swagger will deliver the goods. It'll be interesting to see the mix with him and Shelton and what they can do, and Christian. But yeah, I'm happy Swagger's in there at the end of the day, definitely.
One of the big main events that's now finally getting a build on weekly programming is, of course, Batista versus Cena. And this week, my first reaction to Batista coming out was, why does he need 6 jabroni security? But it turned out that they weren't for Batista, as he said. They were for Cena, to protect him from Batista. But they were standing at his end. Did that make sense?
It didn't make any sense at all. I do quite like heel Batista still.
Yeah. I love heel Batista.
Yeah, I'm digging it. And I think the look... What was funny and what hit home for me was playing SmackDown Raw 2010 and Batista's old... No, I wouldn't say old, I suppose. Old being a couple of weeks ago old. But his entrance, you know, and the whole...
Dark
thing. Well, the old school one. The old... I won't say old school, but the most recent entrance Batista used to make with the pyros and all that. And just watched that yesterday and then realised how much better heel Batista is. I think definitely a good thing for him, for Batista to be a heel. So
I certainly agree, and Batista is going into that big match finally after a couple of years of really being on the sidelines for WrestleMania. Batista now with a much better spot up there, earning big money with John Cena. Now, I personally found this promo very good. I felt it was storytelling, that they were making an effort. They have to make an effort with a Cena match, don't they?
Yeah, Batista really cutting Cena down, telling him he's the company man and the whole shebang. And again, Vince kind of touched on that the week before last on Raw. And yeah, it's kind of good to see them cut promos like that. It makes it a bit more realistic, and especially when people know that is the real deal and Cena is the company man in a sense.
Great back and forth between the two guys.
Yeah, it was good. I think it'll be interesting actually to see who comes out on top of that, because I don't think they should. That could crash and burn if Batista drops the title, and I think it would be good for him to keep the title going out of Mania. But if it's, I don't know what way the card's going to run, if it's the last match, sending people home happy and all that. But Yeah, I think Batista should hold on to this belt, definitely.
Well, certainly it was interesting to see Batista out there. He had a real look of a WWE champion to me. He certainly looked the part in every way. He always has, but there's something about giving him that WWE belt that legitimizes him more than ever before.
Yeah, I think it's the full picture when you see the black waistcoat jacket, the leather jacket, and the sunglasses, and a lot slower in his promos, and I think he just looks a lot even more focused himself, and maybe knows he's better at playing the heel, or has wanted to go back into heel character and probably was told not to for some time. What I would be really interested to see in the next year would be a Cena heel turn. Will it happen? They said the same with Hogan, not a chance, but I think it would be so refreshing for the character that John Cena is, and for what he can bring to the table. But yeah, he is the go-getter, definitely the go-getter for WWE right now.